Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tin City with Prince Adino, and today we'll be discussing or talking about another important topic, peer pressure. So, what is peer pressure? Let's separate the words, peer and pressure. Peer is peer can be people of same age and same status. In most cases, same age. What is pressure? Is exacting force on something or on somebody. Joining the two words together, peer pressure can be a group of persons trying to influence another. In this case, it can be positive or negative, but in most cases, in our time and generation, is mostly negative. It's mostly negative. In our society today, you find out that most teenagers that engage in corrupt activities, they didn't learn this from parents. They didn't learn this from uh, from teachers in school or in church. You see girls who from childhood know nothing about smoking. Girls from childhood who have known nothing about using some vulgar words, but the moment they are out of the sight of parents and elders and loved ones, and they start to mix with friends of different background. They start to use such words, such vulgar language like the F word, like you know what I mean by those vulgar languages. You find out that boys who know nothing about stealing or womanizing from childhood, but they get to learn this from friends. You get, but then today I'm not going to dwell so much on how much it has affected us negatively. We're talking about the positive side and how to free yourself, how to get delivered from the negative side of peer pressure. Okay, it has to be intentional. It has to be intentional. Peer pressure, in most cases, just happens to us. It just happens to us. We sometimes do not know when we start copying or when we start to emulate these attitudes or these characters from our friends. But now that we want to emulate the good side, it has to be intentional. It has to be intentional, and then the first step is deciding consciously the kinds of friends you move out with. Consciously, it has to be intentional. You have to decide, what am I gaining from this person. This person can have all the money in the world. He can have all the money in the world. He can be very handsome, but then character-wise, what am I gaining from him? Character-wise, is this someone I can boldly show to my parents? Is this someone I can boldly walk on the street with? Is this someone that I can I can move around with? We have to discuss this first. Is this someone that will influence me, or that will teach me, or that will help me to have a better relationship with God? We have to talk about this too. Then when we are done talking about this, then we'll now start selecting. Because sometimes we can have a friend that character wise is awesome, but spiritually it might be nothing to write home about. uh, Spiritually might be nothing to write home about. Like one of my mentor will say, you want to be like a pastor, you have to find a pastor who is sound spiritually, who is sound financially, who is sound character wise. And if you cannot find this in one person, you have to find this in different people. You have to find a pastor who is sound character wise. You emulate the character side of him. If he's not sound spiritually, you leave that side. You have to find another pastor who is who is, for the sake of the example, that's why I'm using the word pastor. You have to find another pastor who is sound spiritually, and then another who is financially sound. Sometimes we might find one pastor who has all these attributes. Fine, you can follow that one, but then in a situation where you can't find these three attributes in one person, you have to find it in separate persons, in separate pastors. The same way, if you cannot find a friend who has good character, who is sound character-wise, but then has some level of spirituality, if I can say so, because some people are spiritual, but then they're nothing to write home about spiritually, and some can be very spiritual, but financially wise or financial wise, is that English correct? They can be nothing to write home about. So we have to intentionally define what we are getting from anybody that we are mingling with or that we are moving around with. It's not discrimination. It's not discrimination. This is what you want. This is what you want. You have to intentionally find these things. You have to intentionally find these things. You have to find someone that has this attribute, depending on what you're looking for anyways. Depending on what you're looking for. Career-wise, you find someone that is doing well as a doctor. Find someone that is doing well in the law firm or something. You find someone that is doing well in your field, yeah. And then at the same time, which is very important, someone that has a very good relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, someone that is very good in his field, if he doesn't have a good relationship with God, when you begin to emulate whatever he's doing in his field, his unbelief in God will, one way or the other, begin to rub off on you. That will be a topic for another day. But then my whole point, or the essence of this whole English, is when you are looking for people that you can call friends, people that you want to mingle with, people that you want to gain something from, whatever they are going to offer you, make sure they have a sound Christian life. Make sure they have a sound Christian life. Make sure the same way they will be offering you some career advice, the same way they will be offering you some character advice, at the same way they will be offering you some spiritual advice. You know what I mean by that? Some spiritual advice. So I think that's it. Make sure people you are mingling with, first and foremost, they have a good relationship with God. They are Christians. They are Christians, not just that they go to church, but they are Christians. And then you have one or other two things that you are learning from them. Don't just mingle with somebody because they are handsome or because they speak good English. You understand? Mingle with them because what you're going to gain from them. First and foremost, make sure they are Christians. Then every other thing can add up. Thank you. Don't forget to, in case you are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. I would like to know what you think of the video. I'd like to know your opinion too. So don't forget to tell me all of this in the comment section. Thank you.